Okay, I have something that I'm really excited about. This is the Hamilton Khaki Field Watch H69529913. This is something very special. Taking a closer look at this watch, one of the things that attracted me to this watch right away is, well, it's absolutely unique in my collection. I don't have any other watches in my collection that have a white face, so this will stand out absolutely. Another thing that makes this watch special is today. So today is Veterans Day, and I actually saved this watch and this review unboxing for Veterans Day specifically because of the historical place that this watch holds. This is a Hamilton field watch. Now, the Hamilton field watches came into huge popularity during World War II with the Allied soldiers, specifically the Americans. It is a very simple watch by design. You'll notice that the case is stainless steel. This case actually has a very nice finish to it. The crown is signed. It does not have a screw down crown though. It does pull out, and when you pull the crown, it hacks the watch movement. So that means it automatically stops the watch movement, and that was what allowed soldiers to synchronize their watches. So you've seen those Army movies and they say, synchronize your watch. That's exactly what they do. They pull that crown, when they press the crown back in, they're able to adjust their time so everybody has the exact same time. These were originally American-made watches. In 1974, Hamilton was bought by the Swiss Swatch Group, which is the same group that makes Rolex, Omega, and Tissot. The movement in this watch is very special. It's very different from anything else I have in my collection. This is a mechanical watch. So my other watches are either automatics or they are battery-powered quartz. So for instance, my Tissot is a quartz watch and it runs on a battery. My Seiko Turtle is a automatic watch. That means I can wind it or I can shake it, and by moving and shaking it, there's a flywheel on the inside that charges and winds the main spring. In this watch, it is purely mechanical. So the only way to get power into this watch is to physically turn the crown. When we take a close look at the face of the watch, this is actually something interesting to me also. Is the idea behind a field watch is really the design to be simple. There are no extra complications. There's no date. There's no complication for the day of the week. There's no fancy chronograph. There's no buttons to push, no paddles. It simply tells time. It tells it with the 12-hour Arabic numerals and then the 24-hour clock listed on the inside. This is a very simple watch. It uses the H50 mechanical movement, and one of the things I noticed about this watch is just really how nice that second hand sweeps for a mechanical watch. It does have 17 jewels. This was a very simple, basic watch designed to be mass produced as quickly as possible and then gotten into the hands of soldiers. So the case itself is stainless steel. Indices on here do have Lume, but they're not applied indices. These are simply printed indices. The idea is that these were not fancy watches. These are just your average G.I. Joe watches. Let's take a look at the measurements. This comes in at about 42 millimeters. Case, lug to lug, 50 millimeters. The bracelet, you're going to need 22 millimeter strap or a bracelet. Interesting, the thickness on a mechanical watch is going to be pretty thin. Look at that, 9.3 millimeters. And that is with that nice sapphire crystal. Get a little bit closer to the middle. Yeah, it gets me up to about a 9.7. So it does wear very comfortably. It feels nice. It's very light. It's not a heavy watch. Some of my other watches are quite heavy, substantial. This feels very, very light, even for its size. All right, let's get a Lume shot.
I am very impressed with the Lume on this watch. It is super luminova, and it's applied generously to the hands and the indices. Well done.
So my initial thoughts on the Khaki field watch in 42 millimeter. Well, I'm impressed. I love the size. This does use the H50 mechanical movement. The power reserve on full winding is 80 hours. The sweep of the second hand is really pretty smooth. I'm impressed with the case. The finish on this case is very nice. It does have a very nice signed crown. The strap, well executed. Sapphire crystal, very light, and for very light, especially considering the size of this watch. This is a 42 millimeter watch, but very thin, and the way it wears is super comfortable.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.